Today I will inform you about Asperger's syndrome. We will explore the symptoms, cause, treatments, and commonality, as well as the challenges Aspies, the affectionate name that people with Asperger's prefer to call themselves, may face on a daily basis. Did you know that Albert Einstein is speculated of having Asperger's syndrome due to his delayed language development and educational slowness? Bill Gates, Andy Warhol, Tim Burton, Abraham Lincoln, and Robin Williams were also suspected of being an Aspie, according to Ranker.com. According to Google, Asperger's syndrome is a development disorder related to autism, characterized by higher than average intellectual ability, coupled with impaired social skills and restrictive repetitive patterns of interests and activities. This disorder was named after the Australian doctor, Dr. Hans Asperger, who first described this disorder in 1944 when he identified a pattern of behaviors in 4 boys. That's from aspergersyndrome.me.uk. After watching Parenthood as a parent, I can relate to the struggles that Max's parents go through due to having a child with Asperger's syndrome. I can sympathize the hurt that they feel when their child is being bullied, and I can also have a better understanding of how an Aspie looks at things and how they might feel when they cannot perform simple tasks. Now that we've learned what Asperger's is and who first defined this disorder, let's take a look at some of the common symptoms. First, let's see how Asperger's is characterized. People with Asperger's have problems initiating and carrying on conversations with other people. They also perform repetitive behaviors or rituals that have to be followed in a certain order. Once they start that order, they will not alternate. People with Asperger's develop interest in a limited range. Once they become interested in something, they almost are obsessed with it. People with Asperger's may be impressively skilled or talented in a specific area, such as math or music. Now that we know some of the common symptoms associated with Asperger's, we can take a look at the cause, treatments, commonality, and how it differs from autism. Secondly, what causes Asperger's? How is it treated? How common is it? And how does it differ from autism? According to WebMD.com, the exact cause for Asperger's is unclear. However, it does run in families, which suggests that it may be inherited. Treatments for Asperger's syndrome include special education. This is a type of education that is structured to meet the child's unique educational needs. Behavior modification includes strategies for supporting positive behavior and decreasing problem behaviors. Speech, physical, and occupational therapy are therapies designed to increase the child's functionality. Social skills therapy. These are invaluable ways to build social skills and the ability to read verbal and nonverbal cues that is often lacking in people with Asperger's syndrome, according to WebMD. Asperger's is more common than autism, and children with Asperger's typically tend to function better than children with autism. The commonality estimates 2.5 out of every 1,000 children in the United States. The diagnosing age is between 2 to 6, because this is where our speech development is actually developed. Boys are 5 times more likely to have Asperger's than girls, and 1 out of 110 children have an autism spectrum disability. According to Simon Baron Cohen, co-director of Autism Research Center in Cambridge, England, there are 2 main differences between Asperger's and autism. First, folks with autism have a language delay, while people with Asperger's speak within the expected age range. Second, people with autism have a below average IQ, while people with Asperger's have an average or above average IQ. Alright, well, now we are informed of what Asperger's is, its symptoms, cause, treatments, and commonalities. We now need exposure to what challenges Aspies may face on a daily basis. Class, What are some of the challenges an Aspie may face on a daily basis? Younger people with Asperger's syndrome seem to be at higher risk for being bullied. For example, at the New York Times, Levi Knoll was a 13-year-old boy who struggled with Asperger's syndrome and ADHD. He was bullied most of his life throughout school, but one day the bullies took it too far whenever they filmed his involuntary movements due to Asperger's syndrome and placed this video on the internet. Based on the information I've researched and seen on Parenthood, people, especially children, suffer from being bullied due to the fact that they are weak targets because of their social awkwardness, involuntary movements, and sensory perception. In addition to being bullied or looked at as weird or obnoxious, people with Asperger's get really upset when something unexpected happens or they are asked to do something outside of their schedule. Can you imagine all the unexpected or interruptive things that happen to you on a daily basis? Now can you imagine getting very anxious or upset over these things happening? Asperger's is not a mental disorder. It is simply a disorder in which the brain is wired differently than normal people. With that being said, people with Asperger's have difficulty putting themselves in other people's shoes and thinking about their feelings. They have an ignorance for social roles. They have an uneven set of skills. They are very honest, and sometimes this can come across as rude. They also have difficulty picking up on nonverbal cues. They have experienced anxiety over unexpected events, and they have difficulty recognizing and expressing their own feelings. After learning about what Asperger's is and walking a short distance in an Aspie's shoes, I hope that you can walk away today with a new perspective on how you treat people who are different than you or display out-of-the-norm characteristics. After all, we all put our pants on the same way, one leg after the other.